Texoma, two teams on Match week 6 comes to a close in the Lilac City. Spokane and Texoma, two teams on opposite ends of the league table, are on center stage today. And Lee Wiedemann looks to add flair to his team's attack to complement his silencing defense over the last couple of matches. Adrian Forbes and Texoma searching for their first points as a club, desperate for a result today. It's a League One tussle in the Pacific Northwest. Spokane Velocity have their eyes set on league win #1 at home this year, and Texoma FC looking to play spoiler in dire need of points. And Josh Lill bringing you all the action this evening, sponsored by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. And for Texoma, it's not been the best of starts, and the age gap has shown. Spokane's got a lot of USL experience, whereas Texoma, very young and lacking minutes at the professional level. And Adrian Forbes said it best. The best part about coaching a young team is they've got the will, desire, and passion to develop. Whereas Spokane veteran leadership, a big reason of why they were runner-ups a year ago, and a big part of why they could win the league title this year. And part of the veteran experience this year, Carlos Marancio allowing just 3 goals this season and only took part in 7 league matches last year. So look for him to help that shutout streak continue. The stability between the sticks has been a big part of Spokane's success up to this point. And Mason McCready, Texoma's first ever signing, he's been a bright spot for the club, but his defense has left him vulnerable. He's had to face 17 shots on target this year. Adrian Forbes noted things would be a lot worse if it was not for McCready's efforts, and the other keepers make him better every single day in training, which is why this is a club that feels a change in luck is right around the corner. Spokane trying to put together a match that will continue their shutout streak while adding a dazzling display of scoring like we saw in Greenville. Texoma traveled over 1,800 miles in search of the club's first ever result. Starters and kickoff up next.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to
Spring 2025 rolls back around. Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
2 of the fresher faces in League One set to battle at one Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Velocity FC and Texoma gathering for a Sunday matinee. And Josh Lill bringing you all the action presented by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. And starting lineups for Spokane, it's a 4-4-2 formation with Carlos Marancio on net, David Garcia and Lucky Oprah, the NoCo boys, on the right side of the back line. Look for Derek Waldeck to facilitate the attack from that left side. You've got Andre Lewis and Siobhan John Brown, who provide goal-scoring potential in the midfield. In 2024, all-league first-teamer Luis Heel in the middle of it all. Look for him to facilitate the attack. And then up top, Anwar Pelaez, already matching his goal total from the league last year. The 32-year-old could be poised for a breakout year. And for Texoma, a way different look. Adrian Forbes switching tactics. It's a youthful back line featuring two teenagers in Valentine and Stasfiski. It's also got three players that have never recorded a professional goal contribution. And they needed to bolster up the back line to secure a result today. You've got Teddy Baker making his first professional start. No better guy to do that next to than Solomon Asante, the only 50-50 player in the history of USL Championship. And Brandon McManus up top looks to continue his tear, not just as a goal scorer, but as a high presser as well. And Spokane Velocity in their home white kits with impact blue letters and numbers. And Texoma FC debuting their midnight kits. We'll get into that a little later. Lee Wiedemann and Adrian Forbes, two Englishmen, set to take their clubs to battle on the pitch today, and we are underway from Spokane, Washington. And Josh Lill bringing you all the action on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Anwar Pelaez, a rapid start taken down right at the edge of the 6. And our head referee, Patricia McCracken, not seeing anything to put Pelaez at the spot, and we've got a couple players down inside the first 20 seconds. It's Pelaez for Spokane. As we are off to a rapid start here. And in case you missed it, folks, the 32-year-old Columbia national found himself with a great chance inside the box. And a player-on-player collision has a member from each side down. Both appear to be okay. That's Patrick Stasfiski, who was slow to get up, but solid defense from the 19-year-old from Chicago. And tested here early on. 4 set-piece goals conceded by Texoma to start the year. And not looking to allow one here. And with pace, working as Texoma, Colin Fernandez to clear that ball away. And Texoma today debuting their midnight kits. Black kit with red letters and numbers. And when talking with the staff, it's a club that's been the backbone of the community. It represents the working class motto from dusk to dawn. And we'll jump a little more into the kits later. But a new look for the roadside. Here's Andre Lewis. Back to Fernandez. Oprah up ahead. Opportunity for Siobhan John Brown. Quick touch by Luis Heel. And right to the mitts of Mason McCready. Again, nominated for Save of the Week back in week 3. McCready back in Scotland was a third-choice keeper and making plenty of noise here early on in this young 2025 season. Adrian Forbes described McCready, I should say, as an unknown entity, now making his name known within the league. Spokane Velocity coming off of a draw against Portland, unable to come away with 3 points when they did all of the things right. And they held 70% of the ball in the final 15 minutes, outshot Portland. But a big part of the reason they drew against Hearts of Pine, they didn't have a shot on target till the 66th minute. Right here on their heels hoping to not be put in that same situation today. Luis Heel having a go here. Such a dangerous ball handler. Has such a skilled shot. And has an eye for playmaking. An aggressive takedown on that far side of the pitch. And a free kick in positive territory for the home side. And that one going off of McManus. Takedown in that far right corner. Spokane moving with early pace. Stasvitsky not liking the call. Seemingly been in the wrong spot at the wrong time with early contact. But that's what you want to see from the youngster. Not afraid to get on the ball and showing his confidence here early on. So a couple of excellent opportunities here within the first 5 minutes of the match for Spokane. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 4 set-piece goals conceded by Texoma. 2 via the corner kick. 1 free kick conceded against Westchester, and 1 at the penalty spot against Foro in the U.S. Open Cup. Floated in and collected in the air by McCready. And that's an area that McCready would love to see his teammates be more solidified on. And Pelaya's nifty move inside, rockets that one over McCready. Anwar Pelaya's also in the mix of it all, just like his counterpart, Patrick Stasvitsky, getting plenty of early touches here and just weaving his way through. Handles that touch with grace. Pelaya is last year transferred on August 9th to Spokane. Ended up scoring 2 goals for the club, one of which came in the quarterfinals on the road en route to the team's victory against Northern Colorado. Pelaya is one of the key returners for Spokane this year. Inaccurate long ball. Finds its way to our Spokane player to watch today, Carlos Marancio. Derek Waldeck with the ball. Beautiful ball up ahead. Well-timed run. And Pierre Reedy, such a vertical threat. Brings a lucrative amount of speed to the pitch every single day. And tiptoeing, attempting to keep it in. And Texoma. First ever meeting today between these two clubs. Again, a couple of firsts on the line for these two sides. Spokane looking for win number 1 at home in the league this year. Texoma looking for their first result in club history. It's been a tough start, but it's a team led by Adrian Forbes that has maintained a positive mindset. Right now, his club has just not been given an opportunity to move patiently with the ball. Luis Heel standing over this one. Back side of the post. And trickled that way through that crowd. McCready coming away unscathed. Excellent placement here, nearly found the head of what looked like David Garcia. Precision, one of the many great attributes of Luis Heel. Here's Waldeck. So inaugural teams outside of the first year of the league in 2019. So we're looking at 2020 on. Expansion teams have had a record in their first year, 51, 55, and 43 if you include the 5 teams' current records this year. As Oprah called for the foul. None of the expansion sides have come away with more than 1 win in their inaugural match this year. Waldeck with a hefty leg, gets a touch inside, bouncing around. And a little heavy for Siobhan John Brown. Oprah taking his space. This is where he is so dangerous. And shielded well there. And it's Davey Mason just positioning himself between Oprah and the ball. And that's about the most important thing you can do against the dangerous right back. Not only brings defensive prowess to his position, but can also attack. And a positive movement here. Here's JP Jordan. Inside Jaune. Little in and out movement on Oprah. Clearing space, crossing. Spokane, not necessarily a team to put pressure on the ball in their half, but the second that ball crosses the center line, you can expect that they will make their move toward the ball. Here's Mason. Gives Texoma an opportunity to move along the back line. But then that's where Spokane is so intricate in their defense that they're able to do those little things right. Whether that be stick a leg in the passing lane, or have a player shift over for help. Velocity FC doing the little things right. Not so much there as Pierre Avridi called for the foul. Reedy coming back this year, and Lee Wiedemann has a shot blocked there. And Jordan with an opportunity, stood still over the ball and had that poked free. Heel up ahead. Elias with space, well-timed run. And puts the brakes on, holding up for his teammates. John Brown to heel. Lewis aggressively switching the pitch. Waldeck looking to cross with his weak foot, a shot! And Derek Waldeck connects inside the first 15 minutes. His first ever goal with Spokane Velocity FC. Waldeck played in a team-high 35 matches last year, was part of the League One Team of the Week 5 times, did so many things right that don't appear on the stat sheet. and then produces a beauty here. Andre Lewis will get credit for the assist. And doing so with his right foot. Clearing several defenders. How he found that gap, I don't know. And just through several defenders, nothing McCready could do. His own player shielded him. And the veteran left back, who has meant so much to this team, has put every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears into this club. Connects here early on. And a thunderous crowd that has now been electrified. And Texoma now having conceded 4 first-half goals. This year only Richmond have allowed more in the league. And today's kinetic chiropractic injury report, none on the list for Spokane. And a few names here for Texoma. And Jordan Chavez usually gets that start at right center back. Out today, Angelo Calfo and Diego Pepe also unable to join their teammates on the pitch this afternoon. And not to mention the plethora of visa issues that are going on inside the club at this point. Adrian Forbes knows his team is still a full week or so away from being at full health and full club, but he is excited as he feels those international players are going to bring so much intensity, skill, and experience to this club. Spokane taking advantage of such this afternoon. Siobhan John Brown battling inside, making the extra effort. Nice cross, and the header so dangerous. Anwar Pelaez on the right end of that ball. And the lead nearly doubled here early on. Pelaez getting plenty of contact, touches, and looks inside the box early on. And the veteran liking what he sees in terms of the actions. And that one barely missing the crossbar. It might have even grazed it. And you can see Davey Mason not giving Pelaez an ounce of breathing room. It's a corner kick for Spokane. Presented by Idaho Central Credit Union. Lofted to the back post and just wide. Texoma will have to come from behind here to at least put out a result this afternoon. And like the home side in their previous match, Texoma going well past the hour mark to find a shot on target in their last match against FC Naples. They didn't see a chance until the 75th minute. So Spokane making the necessary adjustment as that ball might have gone out past the byline. Several Texoma players arguing that it did. But our head official, Patricia McCracken, not seeing that. It is a tough angle if you're in the middle of the pitch. what makes Spokane so dangerous, not just by the rostered players you see on the pitch right now, but it's also the guys that are dressed on the bench. The experience that they brought in. It's a side that came in last season as an expansion team that built the club well. Stasfiski getting called for another foul. But they brought in experienced players like Colin Fernandez, Luis Heel, Derek Waldeck, Carlos Marancio and company. And then not only do you get Pierre Reedy back this year, but then you add the likes of Siobhan John Brown coming over from Central Valley, Marky Hernandez available on the bench. Opportunity here to the wayside of Marancio. Adding Jalen Chrysler, David Garcia, Lucky Oprah. They're doing things right in consecutive years, adding experience. And you saw the average age difference. Well over 2 years. Separate the average age between these two clubs. We're up ahead to Pelaez in dangerous positioning. It would have taken a circus effort to control that ball. Velocity FC early on testing Texoma with the long ball. They've been just a matter of inches away from connecting. It looked like that ball might have stayed in, but Patricia McCracken saw otherwise. Here's Oprah, player of the week for match week 4. After recording a goal and 2 assists. Finds himself with the ball again. Deep in his own third. Spokane right now, they've avoided defeat in their last 11 matches when scoring first in the league. Been over a year since they lost from a winning position in USL 1. Through ball just ahead of Brandon McManus. Great idea there from Spangler. Finding the connecting points with Brandon McManus has been a point of emphasis over the past week for Adrian Forbes and company. Here's Waldeck. Cross inside, headed away. Spangler taken down on the far side, and they feel that a player like the USF alum, along with Solomon Asante, can really unlock the abilities of Brandon McManus. He's had to do a lot. He's a player they feel is at their best. He's able to sit back and let everybody catch up and then play off the wingers. McManus also scoring the club's only 2 goals in all competitions this year. Texoma has to be better in possession if they want to continue to unlock McManus's full potential. Jaune. There's McManus wearing 7 inside the box. JP Jordan, and down goes Patricia McCracken momentarily. They move quickly. Does the flag stay down? It looks like it does. Breakaway opportunity. Louise Heel spinning, dodging. Opportunity just wide. And that was Pierre Reedy. It was just a matter of inches away from the goal. And a heck of an effort by Louise Heel, putting on circus moves, spinning and evading defenders. And Reedy found himself hustling down that left third of the pitch, looking to connect on a one-timer. But what a counterattack here. Pelias takes a little bit of contact. Heel with a perfectly timed run, spinning to his right, evading, putting the brakes on. And Reedy just putting that ball wide of McCready. Stasviski up ahead. Mauricio controlling with McManus behind. Garcia nearly turned it over. Foul called against Spangler. Spangler in disagreement. Spangler, who signed his first professional deal last year with South Georgia Tormenta FC. In 3 matches, scoring 2 goals and 6 assists, they feel can be a future in terms of the midfield. And again, who better to play alongside than Solomon Asante? And Siobhan John Brown with a little too much heat on that pass over to Oprah. Scan now, and you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Doc, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Asante to Spangler. Trying to find the right pass. Triple teamed and gives it away to Siobhan John Brown. And Davey Mason refusing to give up that ball. The build right now for Texoma. It's been tough to break down this Spokane team. Defensively, in the final third, Spokane has been clinical day in and day out. Behind the back flick. Siobhan John Brown putting on all the moves today. Sky high pop-up. Spangler with Waldeck. The latter of the two winning the battle. Stretching the field out here. Now cutting the middle is Garcia. Garcia also with a rich history in USL. He scored 2 goals in the 2023 League One semifinals against Northern Colorado when he was with North Carolina FC. Him and Lucky Oprah, a big part of Noco's run to the Jägermeister Cup title and a 2nd place finish in the standings. Inaccurate long ball going right back the way of Texoma. An interesting story from the week. The academy players for Texoma FC, they wrote letters to the first team. Letters of support, wishing them good luck, and just helping to provide that extra motivation. When talking with Adrian Forbes and the staff, something that Texoma FC is really proud of is that relationship between the academy players and the first team. And Forbes, obviously a big fan of academies and developing the youth. Here's the academy coach back at Norwich City. And as well with Luton Town over in England. An assistant coach, Ben Clarvis, also works with the academy team. That's how this club really all started. His ownership wanted there to be a strong academy system for youth soccer in the North Texas area. Then they got to thinking, if we're going to have an academy, we don't want our players to go all the way to Dallas, Fort Worth area. So they ended up putting a professional team in the Texoma area. Here's Heel. Surveying the pitch, works into the corner to Siobhan John Brown. Such a terrific one-on-one player. So tricky with his foot movement. And protecting that ball is Valentine, rolling right to McCready. Spangler holding out play right now. Playa's the lone man up top. Once that first pass is entered into the edge of the final third, that's where you're going to look to see Spokane make their movement. And bounced around. Intended target was Lamin Jaune. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. And a player down here for Texoma on the far side of the box. Najmir Spangler over to check on the down teammate. Solomon Asante, the veteran, over there to stretch out his guy. And they're calling for the training staff on the pitch. For Texoma, it's been nearly a year since Adrian Forbes was announced as the team's inaugural head coach. He'd been announced as sporting director prior to May 9th. Then on the 9th of May, named the inaugural head coach of the team, and has just enjoyed every moment. You can see the engagement that he has with his guys as he's talking to JP Jordan. He cares about their development. He understands it's a rough start, but he knows better days are ahead. And the positivity when we talk to Coach Forbes, it's through the roof. When you work in the youth system, the academy systems, for that matter of fact, you got to have patience. But Forbes, with him at the helm, it's a club that certainly has a high ceiling for the rest of the season. As that's Brandon McManus, the star forward for Texoma, a little shaken up. McManus, a former Gatorade Player of the Year in the 2018-19 school year back in Kentucky. He scored the club's first ever goal in the U.S. Open Cup against Foro SC. And if that wasn't enough, he ended up recording the club's first ever league goal against Westchester SC. He's on his first pro contract, hailing from the universities of Kentucky and Louisville, where he recorded 17 goal contributions in 76 matches. And the future is bright for the 24-year-old. So back in play here. Colin Fernandez over to Derek Waldeck, the lone goal scorer, as we just have reached over the half-hour mark here. And Pelaya's colliding with Mason McCready. And a heavy collision. That's about the third one that Pelaya's has taken inside the box. And that tells you where his mind is at. But heart-stopping right now for Texoma is their pride and joy, Mason McCready. One of the few players that has come up big for Texoma, taking a heavy hit from the Spokane forward. And we hope both of them are okay. Seems like both players got the wind knocked out of them. And good sportsmanship there. They know it's just footy at the end of the day. And a nice embrace. Always great sportsmanship on display here in League One. And McCready going a little too fast for Patricia McCacken's liking. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue, open 7 days a week. It's been a clean match so far. Waldeck's goal coming in the 13th minute. No cards have been shown. It's been a relatively quick match. Pelaya's lurking, along with Luis Heel. Looking to make a statement here in the final 10 minutes or so of the first half. Marancio dishing that one off to his right. Hasn't been tested today. Hasn't seen a shot on target. That's a testament to the center backs today, Cameron Miller and David Garcia, but also to the play, Colin Fernandez and Andre Lewis. You'll see dropping at times as that attack progresses forward. Spokane loves to see their fullbacks get up high on the pitch, work that ball in, as you've seen with Derek Waldeck and Lucky Oprah. Pierre Reedy, a little bit of frustration, thought he had a good chance with the ball. Nothing to it. Up ahead here's Spangler. Perkins trying to deflect that ball, unsuccessful. Behind the back flick. Reedy back over to Heel. Finding the former Tormenta man and trickling back to Marancio. Texoma, funny enough, outpassing Spokane in the final third. 51 passes made by the visitors in that area of the pitch, but nothing to show for it. Also have yet to win a corner kick. As we all know, set pieces are crucial. They win you games. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select the player's choice. Spokane doing such a great job spreading out this Texoma defense. Pierre Reedy, elusive in his movement. A hefty-footed shot headed by Waldeck, and a swinging attempt by Pelias. Here's Lewis. Heel blocked away. Second chance dancing around the defender. Centering shot skyrocketed by Lewis. The relentlessness by Spokane to put continued pressure on the visitors. And clinical movement inside the 18. So Pelias whiffs over to Heel, has his shot blocked, finds his way to that spinning ball, and just excellent work to move away from the defender and create the opportunity for Andre Lewis. Lewis, a player of the week last year. Also recorded 7 goal contributions in a 10-match League One span. And just another example of a Spokane player. When they get rolling, oh boy, is it hard to stop. Jaune off of Oprah. The first corner kick today for Texoma. Again, this corner kick sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Took 40 minutes today for Texoma to have this opportunity. Teddy Baker making his first professional start today. Puts this ball in the air to the back post within swing. And a hefty shot. Marancio collecting. Marancio stellar today, even when he's not stopping shots. Still provides an overpowering presence between the sticks. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all of your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Positive movement here. Good job here of Jaune to chase it down. Not a lot of space to work. Baker having to step up. Gives that one right back to John Brown. Lewis over to John Brown. Switching the pitch so quickly. Pierre Reedy, a vertical threat of speed, and goes down from behind. And that is the first booking of the afternoon. That's Ashmir Spangler. And he has been at the forefront of some of those. Careful, just going right for those bright neon cleats of Pierre Reedy. Ashmir Spangler trying to keep pace with one of the faster players on this velocity roster. Heel inside. A couple players hitting the ground. It's Lucky Oprah, the intended target on the near side of the 6. So you have to wonder, what can Texoma do right now to at least get a shot? With Spokane putting a little more pressure on the ball in Texoma's own half. It's going to be tough, especially trying to play through the middle of the pitch. I mean, on the outside, Pure Reedy, described as Lee Wiedemann. That's not someone you want to defend or attack against. Then you have him backed up by Derek Waldeck. The only opportunity is to go when they're not looking, just like you're seeing right now.
This stoppage time is brought to you by Pipeline Casino Resort and Hotel.
And 2 minutes of stoppage time announced, sponsored by CDC Casino. CDA Casino, pardon me. Left-footed rip right to the heart of Morancio, and he has his first save of the afternoon. But positive movement from Texoma to test the veteran keeper. That's how it's all going to happen for Texoma. You have to find yourself in positions with set pieces and throw-ins. Working horizontally here, Spangler. Perkins over to Spangler. Jordan. Perkins. A sliding pass right to the feet of Miller. And Siobhan John Brown had to slow up the attack there. The plus of that, Spokane keeping the ball. About 30 seconds here left of stoppage time, pending Patricia McCracken's ruling. Fernandez dropping in. This is a classic Spokane setup. Allowing Oprah to go in space, put those defenders in 1v1 situations, but this is where you can be left vulnerable. You throw it all for the attack. But there is the first half whistle. Spokane leads after the first 45 minutes of play, 1-0 at home. And they're searching for their first ever home victory this year in league play. And courtesy of that man, Derek Waldeck, and took a shot right inside the box, found its way through the defenders, giving his side the lead here on this sunny Sunday afternoon. It's been tough smittens here for Texoma. Spokane Velocity putting on a show here for their fans in the final match of match week number 6. Plenty of chances. It could be worse, but right now 1-0 the score. We've got stats, highlights, and more coming up next at halftime.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months. Or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Back here at One Spokane Stadium, it's 1-0 Velocity FC leading Texoma FC in the final match of match week 6. Scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you Caruso's, The Burger Doc, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. And taking a look at Team of the Week, starting off Coach of the Week, Vanny Clark of AV Alta FC, stepping in place of Brian Claben in red card suspension, picks up the club's first win at home in the league against Westchester SC, and Carlos Aviles named to that first team in net after his dazzling performance. Jake Dangler, Breck Evans, Chris Heckenberg, all representing FC Naples, along with Carson Henderlong, who have been on a roll, unbeaten in league play this year. Jimmy Villalobos getting the game winner against Westchester SC, and David Garcia being named to Team of the Week, Match Week 5, representing Spokane. Well, this one was a no-doubter. Matt Poland named USL One Coach of the Month. Just a stellar person to have in that leadership role of FC Naples. Not only a pleasure to talk to, but he's taken a side that had a lot of defensive stability, but a lot of questions were asked about their attack. He's helped develop Carson Henderlong and many more players alike Henderlong into being the successful attacking team that they are today. And they picked up a victory last night at home. As their run continues, it'll be interesting to see what they can do down the line. And now we'll take a look at Goal of the Week, Save of the Week, and Player of the Month highlights in USL One. In the words of Vanny Clark, one of his prized possessions. Here's Villalobos! Breaking the hearts of fans last week. And filling them here this evening at Lancaster Municipal Stadium.
Moving the ball up high. Here comes Castro. Left wide for Evans, who cuts it in. A beautiful cross, an even better stop. Matt Levy takes one off the board. Henderlong laying it off. Now cut back into Onan, who dummies away. Henderlong hammers home. FC Naples light up the sky. Riding wide. O'Connor on to Henderlong. And tapped back in. The flag has stayed down, and Naples gnaw themselves free.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. How Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Derek Waldeck got us going at one Spokane Stadium, and that's all she wrote in the first half. Spokane Velocity FC leading Texoma FC 1-0 after the first 45 minutes of play. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue, open 7 days a week. And plenty of news around the week heading into match week 6. And FC Naples sweeping the monthly awards. Matt Poland named USL 1 Coach of the Month, and his star forward Carson Henderlong named Player of the Month. Henderlong leading the league in goals with 5 up to this point, and Poland guiding his side to an unbeaten start in the 2025 campaign. And for AV Alta, they got their first win in league play in front of a sellout crowd, over 5,400 fans against Westchester last week. And in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup, 9 USL 1 clubs will play in the 3rd round of the nationwide tournament next week. It's super exciting to see the league making those nationwide headlines, and USL 1 set to be a threat in the Open Cup the rest of the way. And scores around the match week in League One. And FC Naples getting business done against the Richmond Kickers, 2 of the league's best going at it last night. Naples coming away with a 2-1 victory. And AV Alta matching their performance against Westchester just a couple of weeks ago, picking up a win here against Chattanooga. And Madison and Charlotte, 2 of the league's most prolific squads last year, still looking to find their groove here early on. They had a 1-1 draw. And Portland Hearts of Pine handed their first loss of the 2025 campaign in all comps. Tormenta taking down the Maine natives 2-1. And obviously our score here, 1-0. Spokane leads Texoma. And taking a look at the standings heading into this match. So this is what it was before Texoma and Spokane kicked off. Naples unbeaten at the top of the table, and Richmond picking up their 3rd loss of the year last night. 1 Knox, Tormenta, and Greenville making up the 3 through 5 spots. And AV Alta climbing their way out of the bottom of the standings, picking up win number 2 on this year. And Charlotte and Forward Madison, as well as Union Omaha, 3 of the best that the league had this year, still stuck in that 8 to 11 range. Westchester SC, they put up a tally in each column so far this year. And Texoma looking to climb out of the bottom of the standings past Chattanooga and Portland. And we'll have highlights and stats coming up next here on Halftime. Again, your score, Spokane 1, Texoma 0. Stay tuned. We've got plenty more coming up.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too. For part 2 of their inaugural season, you could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
First half highlights from Spokane as Velocity FC, Texoma FC doing battle here this afternoon. Starts with Lucky Oprah looking inside, and Anwar Pelaez nearly connecting on the header. As you can see, he was a little frustrated. Had a couple of early opportunities. Spokane kept the pressure on. This ball cycled around. Excellent ball movement. And finds Derek Waldeck, the left fullback, ends up recording his first goal in a Spokane uniform since he first came here about a year ago. And Waldeck, such a pivotal part of all the builds that you see, the successful builds by this Spokane attack. And finally gets rewarded with a goal. You can see he's pumped. Siobhan John Brown loving it as well. And in the 25th minute, another opportunity here for Luis Heel. Found himself on a breakaway. And so shifty and elusive is Heel, and Pierre Reedy just a matter of inches away from connecting. And Mason McCready getting lucky that one did not go right by his right arm. And then here in stoppage time to wrap things up, there's Texoma getting an opportunity. Ajmir Spangler trying to cut through the middle of the pitch. Ends up having that shot saved by Morancio. Even though it was saved, they needed to see Morancio tested just a little bit. We'll see how much they can test the veteran keeper here in the final 45 minutes of play. And Josh Lill with you this afternoon, bringing you all the action from One Spokane Stadium. In Spokane, the first meeting between these two clubs ever. Velocity FC looking for their first league win at home this year. Whereas Texoma riding a 4-game losing streak, looking to pick up their first result in club history. Such a beautiful and picturesque scene here from the great Northwest. And Texoma, the only pointless team across all competitions. And just one of 2 teams in the history of League One to be heading in to match week 6 pointless. The other North Carolina FC back in 2021. But regardless of how many matches have been played, here's Fernandez, left-footed rip. And Heel just a little aggressive there. But such an excellent job moving without the ball, Luis Heel. Always finding a way to cut through the defense. He starts with a great flick, and Fernandez just making the smart pass, trying to find the captain. There were a couple of goalposts there. That one might have been good. Just had to aim a little lower. Back to Texoma. No team has ever been pointless regardless of how many matches have been played, whether that's 1, 3, 10, whatever it may be. No team has ever been pointless heading into match week 7. Adrian Forbes doing everything in his power to get this team on the right track. Missing several players due to visa issues. And on top of that, a few injuries today. In Jordan Chavez, Angelo Calfa, and Diego Pepe. Here's Waldeck, the lone goal scorer today. So dangerous with his left foot on set pieces. Can expect this in-swinger to have some flair. He's not taking it though. It's Luis Heel, also with in-swing. And that header barely missing. David Garcia knew he had a golden opportunity from point-blank range. Like we talked about earlier, Garcia, a proven goal scorer. Doing so both at NOCO and NCFC. Throw in a really difficult spot. John Brown trying to control. That one over the head of McCready. So Velocity FC firing from all cylinders in all geographical areas of the pitch. Big question mark for Spokane. Pardon me, Texoma this year. Is you have the veteran presence. And guys like Preston Kilwine, Solomon Asante, Davey Mason. But will the youth contribute? More or less, will they be able to perform under these high expectations? It can be tough with so many young players to carry such a load. And you see it with guys like Brandon McManus, Mason McCready, even Reed Valentine, who's starting in his second professional match today. But it's these moments for Texoma. Getting these opportunities at a young age is only going to better the players for their futures. And Reedy taken down by Spangler. Shaken up. Spangler having to be careful, already has a yellow this match. Not a position that you want to put Texoma in here early on. He's already picked up 1 second yellow in a match this year. That's the last person that Adrian Forbes would want to lose here early on in a young second half. And Spangler going over to check on Reedy, trying to inform of no malintent. Derek Waldeck pleading his case for Reedy. And the right winger not liking the extra contact as well. And Reedy has been part of some phenomenal teams, especially with Dundee in the Scottish Championship. He won the league title and helped them get promoted to the Premiership. The Penn State alum seems to be good to go. We're back underway. So keep an eye on Ajmir Spangler. 1 yellow today and has already been sent off for a second yellow in a match this year. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. McCready trying to pick out his right spot to get this attack started. The key today for Adrian Forbes, what he was looking for out of his players. Definitely wants to see an increase in effort, especially on those set pieces. And we talked about it already, 4 set piece goals this year. You mentioned It's that extra effort, protecting your space, not letting anyone beat you to your spot on those set pieces. It's going to allow them to have more success defensively in those scenarios. For Spokane, you have to watch your back. Lee Wiedemann mentioned the most dangerous part about facing Texoma is knowing that it's a team that is going to come out swinging and fighting at one point. And that the pressure's on, they would love to see a result. And they won't go quietly. They fought valiantly so far up to this point, which is exactly what Lee Wiedemann knew would happen. Wiedemann saying that, playing style is one thing. But you've got a hungry Texoma team that's going to have every team in this league on notice every single night.
Halftime substitution for Texoma, leading the match, number 7, Brandon Hernandez. Coming on, number 35, Brian Padilla.
Brandon McManus out. Brian Padilla in for Texoma. He's just signed to a 25-day contract just a couple of days ago. A 25-year-old FC Dallas Academy product. He's called up to the USU 17 national team. Also played his college ball at University of Maryland. He took part in over 40 games of action during his collegiate career. McCready. Battle on that near side. Wiedemann wanting a foul call. He's going to get it. Waldeck here set to take the set piece. Padilla slotted up top, where McManus would have played. Also, what can make Spokane so dangerous is the ability, at least on the left side, for example, guys like Pierre Reedy and Derek Waldeck. Not only they connect well, is Reedy taken down inside the box, fighting through the contact, crossing and centering, a clean chance! Siobhan John Brown with his first goal in a Velocity FC kit. John Brown cleaning up the trash to extend his team's lead. And SJB not missing a beat. The former Central Valley man just getting himself in great positioning, but let's give some credit here to Pierre Reedy. Tackle down inside the box, even goes down, fighting through, persevering. And Siobhan John Brown took care of the rest, but Pierre Reedy, if he could get a credit for an assist on that play, he definitely should, as this chance is not created without him. But an excellent finish through traffic by Siobhan John Brown. Now. Goal here given up within the first 10 minutes of the second half. The visiting side hoping to make a statement right off the bat, give themselves an opportunity for a result. but the relentless pressure of that Spokane attack. Has put Texoma to a screeching halt. That's the fourth time that they've conceded a goal within the first 15 minutes of play in the second half. Both goals today coming within the first 15 minutes of each half. Texoma doing everything they can to answer all of the questions today. Haven't found any answers. Will Perkins attempting to give his team some sort of boost. Spangler inside. Asante curling ball. And header knocked up by Garcia. Pelaez meeting Perkins to that ball. And a brutal collision there. Perkins shaken up, and so is Pelaez. Omar Pelaez might be fit for Sundays in the NFL with the amount of hits he's taken today. But we hope Perkins is okay. He took a brutal shot there to the left side of his head. And up on his own power. Standing over this ball right now, Teddy Baker and Ashmir Spangler. Short wall here of just two men. Looking to work to that far side. Little misdirection. Short side creativeness here. Asante was hoping to create the corner kick opportunity. Just luck not in the favor of the way of the visitors. Spangler goes down from behind. We play on. I think both players were shocked. And so were we. Perkins up ahead. Bit of a sustained attack. And Texoma controlled 70% of the ball in the first 15 minutes of their match last week. Inside Spangler, golden opportunity! Ashmir Spangler has cut the deficit in half. And the hearts of the Texoma players are still beating. A clinical finish atop the box.
Goal scored for Texoma in the 60th minute by number 10, Ashmir Spangler.
And if this was the player that was destined to score from the start, it was a no-doubter. He'd been working on that move all day today, cutting inside with his left foot. It's been blocked, it's been saved, he's missed. Repetition left in the match. And they are far from done. Spangler playing with his heart on his sleeve. All over the stat book today has recorded a goal, picked up a yellow. He's been at the forefront of the ball movement for Texoma. All of a sudden, you can hear the 509 Syndicate get just a little louder at One Spokane Stadium, as they know they're going to have to fuel their team to a victory here. In disagreement on the pitch, Adrian Forbes can't believe it. Patricia McCracken attempting to clear things up. Giving the throw on the way of the visitors. Here's John Brown. Right now has the game-winning goal. Nice through ball. Here's Oprah crossing inside! Anwar Pelaez! 3 goals on the season! Electrifying the fans here at One Spokane Stadium.
Goal scored for Spokane in the 62nd minute.
And just like the intensity of the Spokane Falls, which they represent, the goals are flying here. Constant pressure on the opponent's back line, resulting in goal after goal for Spokane. And Anwar Pelaez, another guy on this team who's found a plethora of chances this afternoon. Like Ajmer Spangler, it was just a matter of time before he was able to connect. You have to wonder if the 509 Syndicate had a little bit to do with that goal. They got a little louder, and thus another goal was scored. Well, they're tiptoeing with the ball, trying to keep it in. Here's Padilla. And a push from behind. And Patricia McCracken having to make sure that the tempers don't flare up too much. And a booking to the youngster. Coming in the second half in place for Brandon McManus. You could see questioning McCracken. And wondering what he's supposed to do. He felt like he was in good position for the ball. And the second booking of the afternoon to Texoma. Spokane so good at playing vertically along the flanks. Looking for a one-touch long ball there. Reedy dragged down by Jordan. And switching the pitch, Valentine. Reed Valentine through the middle. An accurate pass. Lewis. Up ahead to Pelaez in good positioning. Putting the brakes on. Trying to find his counterpart in the midfield. Lewis streaking up, not able to get there in time. Fatigue, it looks like, setting in for Texoma. What makes Spokane so dangerous is the shiftiness. And you'll see them be patient in the defensive final third. The second the ball makes their way toward them, absolutely charging at it. And on the attack, just able to move it so creatively and efficiently. Every one of their backliners able to take the ball. And it helps when you guys have guys like Siobhan John Brown and Pierre Reedy that are so good at handling the ball with grace. And even more dangerously, you have Anwar Pelaez, who's able to finish atop the formation. Velocity fans, scan the QR code to get your single match tickets today. If this result were to hold, Spokane would move up into third place in the league standings today. And with all the other clubs being done with play for the weekend. For the viewers, if you're wondering if either one or both of these sides will take part in Open Cup competition this week, neither will, as Texoma went down in the first round to Foro FC. It was also a short-lived run for Spokane, going 1-1, taking down Ballard FC and falling to Tacoma Defiance. Pierre Reedy also taking a fall. Third booking of the afternoon. They've all gone the way of the visitors, and it's Will Perkins. He's had some difficult battles on that right side of the formation. He's had to deal with Pierre Reedy all day. Just trying to win that ball back a little over aggressive there. Reckless in the challenge. Perkins, Michigan State alum. He played 3,000 minutes for the Spartans. Just coming from behind on Reedy and tugging down his jersey. Actually signed his first professional deal in League One with Union Omaha last year. Was not part of the title run as he was loaned out to Huntsville City SC in MLS Next Pro. The 26-year-old in the notebook of Patricia McCracken. Luis Heel standing over this ball in positive territory. McCracken directing Spangler to give Heel a little more space. Wise getting a chug of water on the near touchline. Asante and Padilla trying to put some pressure to the ball. And hefty collision from behind. Heel running right into the back of Jordan. JP Jordan coming out of Solar SC Academy. Ended up winning the Golden Ball, aka the MVP for MLS Next. Just 4 years ago. Cross in, knocked away. And out for Texoma throw-in. A goal for Texoma today. They've wanted to win the ball back high up on the pitch. Trying to create sustained possession in that area as well. As Waldeck drawing the corner kick, laying his body on the line. The first goal scorer of today's match, showing why he's such a pivotal player on both sides of the ball. This corner kick is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. And Teddy Baker with outswing. Rifling corner kick. Wickedly off the laces of Padilla. Spinning out of play. But this is the best action right now that we've seen from Texoma all day. We're going to take back-to-back corner kicks. If you're Adrian Forbes, they've been trying to win the ball via the press. High press, nonetheless. Wanting to be so aggressive that they win the ball back on the first pass. And a great chance here, as that one's over the head of Marancio. With about 20 minutes left until stoppage time hits. Golden opportunity for Texoma. Again, breaking out their midnight kits today. And as a tribute to the Dusk to Dawn motto of the hard-working class in the Texoma area. It's been a valiant effort today against one of the league's best. The visitors trying to stay afoot here late in the match. So plenty of substitutions here. Here's Jome, Jack Denton, and Neil Vinyals checking in here for Spokane. Pierre Reedy, Colin Fernandez, and Anwar Playas all checking out. All three players have definitely played their part in helping to possibly secure 3 points for Spokane. Playas picking up the most recent goal. And Jack Denton checking on, scored his first professional goal in the quarterfinals against Northern Colorado last year. He scored the final one en route to the team's 3-0 victory on the road. And Neil Vinyals rich in League One history. 5th all-time in goals for Richmond. And his 18 assists for the Kickers are atop the Roos history. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. And right now is what you're seeing could propel Spokane very well to another title match. Neil Vignal's a regular starter for Richmond, a career leader in many stats, as we just talked about. All-league second team last year. And finished second in the Golden Playmaker race behind Alfredo Midense. Then Jack Denton, obviously, coming through in the postseason last year for the home side. And Ish Jome, 9 substitutions last year, providing stability on the back line. At the left back spot, you can see on the far side of the pitch. Just such a great job of this Velocity FC ownership to add reinforcements with veteran experience to this already talented and well-versed roster. Here's Lewis. And apologies, Ish Jome higher up on the pitch on that right side. Got my directions turned around for a second. Miller wearing a cast on his right arm, not letting it affect him this match. Here's Siobhan John Brown. Careful placement. Here's Ish Jome. A deflected shot! Jome hits it home! And finally scores a goal in a Spokane uniform. Ish Jome, such an integral part of matches last year, coming in as a substitution, and puts this match away here at home. And a beautiful pass by Siobhan John Brown. And you'll take a deflection any day. We'll see if they rule that an own goal or not. But McCready with no chance. Ish Jome will take it however he can. Picking up the goal here in the 75th minute. Apologies there, Jome recording his first goal of the year. He had one last year in the regular season. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear more live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Adrian Forbes with a slight touch. And not what he envisioned today. Was hoping to climb Texoma out of this early season rut. Solomon Asante, USL Championship legend. has been silenced this season so far. And Garcia trying to keep it alive. Free kick going the way of Texoma. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Galazzo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Texoma trying to squeeze the last bit out of this match. Even a goal would go a long way. Just giving them a little bit of confidence. Have yet to have a multi-goal match this year. Right now, if this result were to stand, be back-to-back losses by a goal differential of 3. As Heel and Jordan in a heated battle there. Captain getting the call for the foul. And Texoma working quickly. Spangler trying to move play into the second level. That's where it's so tough to beat Spokane. And that mid-press. Here's Jaune. Trying to create space between him and Waldeck, double teamed, and out for Texoma throw-in. Up next for the visitors, it's a trip to Madison and a date with the Mingos. Be an opportunity for Texoma to try and jump on a team that also had success last year in League One. Perkins. Can't find Baker. Jump trying to prevent a corner and unable to do so.
This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success family.
ICCU corner kick here. Another chance for Texoma to work on their set pieces. Attempt to be more clinical. Heel trying to chase, keep this ball alive. And up to John Brown. Already has a goal today. And giving that one right back over to Texoma. Jaune unable to control. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game, and visit our website today. Like we mentioned, Texoma on the road at Bree Stevens Field for 7 p.m. Central Time or Eastern Time kickoff against Forward Madison, and then Spokane. One of the shorter road trips that they'll take. Here's Vinyals dancing around defenders. Waldeck on the back post for Jome. He was looking for a brace. With a smile on his face, he appreciates the efforts by Waldeck to create that opportunity. As I was just mentioning, one of the shorter road trips Derek Waldeck and company will make next week. And they'll be down in Lancaster, California to face off against AV Alta FC. Lee Wiedemann having to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Knowing that gets a nice little road trip. So That's who those two clubs will do the tango with next week. Spokane looking for goal 5. And nearly found it. And Luis Heel pleading with Patricia McCracken that there was a deflection there.
Number 10,
Luis Heel will exit. And Masango Akale checking in for the captain. Luis Heel, another great effort here today. No goal contributions to show for it. But with Heel, you look at the creativeness. And 2 total shots, but he kept a lot of plays alive today. Assisted in creating plenty of chances that probably shouldn't have happened. It's the little things that Luis Heel does right to propel his team to success. So Masango Akale in for Heel. 2 goals and 2 assists in his first 3 League One matches last year. And hadn't recorded a single goal contribution until that hectic quarterfinal match against Northern Colorado where he picked up an assist. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. It was a well-matched first half of play. And Spokane unloading the floodgates with high velocity. And 3 second half goals here by Anwar Pelaez, Siobhan John Brown, and Ish Joe. Here's Spangler. Trying to knife his way through Jack Denton. And Andre Lewis and Jack Denton given the first booking for Spokane this afternoon. And you have to credit Denton for playing hard late in a match that seems to be decided. A little jersey tug there Spangler was calling for. Denton, no doubt, in disagreement. But playing on here. And Texoma with a valiant effort in the first half. 5 shots, 1 of them on target. And Spokane's defense just too much for the visitors, holding Texoma to 1 shot, which was on target. And curling ball by Jaune out of play. And Leland Gray in for Ajmer Spangler. And Gray actually participated in the open tryouts for Texoma. Ended up making the team. Experience over in the Danish U19 League, putting in over 2,400 minutes played across 37 matches. Gray, another one of several Texoma players searching for their first ever professional goal contribution. And there's actually 9 of those players on Texoma that are searching for their first professional goal or assist this season. Speaking volumes to the process that the ownership group and coaching staff want to build this team with. I think the biggest example of building and developing from the academies that's been a success story, you can look at the Richmond Kickers. Especially the way they've developed Griffin Garnett and James Snedden. It takes a little bit of patience, but with a little bit of veteran leadership and a well-built academy system, Texoma could be right there within a couple of seasons. And no foul call there. Moldick popping it up. Siobhan John Brown. Over to Neil Vinyals. Richmond Kickers all-time leader in assists, switching it over to Siobhan John Brown. A flick from behind. Spokane looking to pull a rabbit out of the hat here. Here's Vinyals. Aggressive. And he's taken down right by the arc. Advantage played. Lewis content with taking play to a screeching halt. And Perkins forcing a throw in. Spokane, maybe not as many total shots, but they've been way more clinical here in the second half. All 3 shots on target have resulted in goals. They're shooting at an exceptional rate of 50% here in the second half. And actually, every single shot on target today for Spokane has been a goal. In the first half, 1 shot on target, 9 shots total. And 3 for 3 here in the second half on 6 total shots. Again, just another example of how Spokane can be so deadly on both sides of the ball. As there's a player shaken up inside the net. Seems to be good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time. 2 minutes.
And 2 minutes of stoppage time has been indicated by the fourth official, presented by CDC, CDA Casino. Here's Padilla. To Asante, and the flag goes up. Book your stay today at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. So Velocity recording 2 4-goal matches in 2 of their last 3 games. Texoma on the scoreboard for the first time since March 29th, but not enough today. The Spokane will just play keep away at this point. Asante not giving up. No set-piece goals allowed today for Adrian Forbes' team. So improvement there, but plenty of other areas to keep up. Keep taking a look into. And a young team with a bright future that's just trying to figure it out here early on in this young 2025 season. Goal kick sent. Now we just await that final whistle. And it does sound. And Spokane Velocity FC pick up their first win at home in the league this year, 4-1 against Texoma FC. And Lee Wiedemann has to be super happy after his club's performance. A clinical finish to this match on both sides of the ball. And stifling defense by his players. And just a relentless amount of pressure that guys like Siobhan John Brown and company put on the visitors' defense. And our player of the match, presented by Modelo. Or the play of the match presented by Modelo, excuse me. The second effort here by Pierre Reedy, nearly tackled to his knees and keeps the cross alive. And then Siobhan John Brown finishing the play. And if Reedy could be given an assist for effort, he might have been given 3 assists for effort here. Just bulldozing his way through contact. Paving the way for SJB. Connect for the team's second goal today. And play of the match presented by Modelo. Again, final handshakes here from One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Velocity FC taking down Texoma FC 4-1 in the side's first home victory in league play this year. We've got plenty more to go. We've got stats, highlights, and a wrap up here. And Josh Lill bringing you the final score from One Spokane Stadium, 4-1. Stay tuned. We've got more for you.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024 pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at One Spokane Stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Your final from Spokane, Washington, and Lee Wiedemann's happy about it. Spokane Velocity FC 4, Texoma FC 1. And there he is waving to the camera, thanking all the fans at home for watching. Siobhan John Brown recording a goal as well in the team's victory. And let's take a look at the full-time highlights to wrap this match up. So Spokane got going early on, plenty of chances. And the full play here, ball movement was on great display, and Derek Waldeck getting his first goal in a Spokane uniform. And powering that through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders before finally beating Mason McCready in the 55th minute. And this was our play of the match presented by Modelo. Pierre Reedy with a second and third effort here to battle with Patrick Stasviski. Crossing it, deflected, and Siobhan John Brown, he nets his first goal in a Spokane uniform after coming over from Central Valley Fuego FC. And the star forward for Spokane is going to be pivotal late in the season for the team. And all of a sudden, it was Texoma making some noise. Najmir Spangler, who had been so dangerous in working horizontally across the pitch at the edge of the box, rifles one right to the left of Carlos Marancio. And nothing that the veteran keeper could do there. And the deficit was cut in half for the visitors, 2-1. Then just moments later, an answer from Spokane. Siobhan John Brown outrunning and finding Lucky Oprah. Found the man in the middle, Anwar Pelaez. 3 goals in league play this year. has now surpassed his League One goal total from last year. And then if it couldn't get any better, Ish Jome, who was constantly subbed on last year for Spokane Velocity, picks up his first goal of the year on a beautiful switch from Siobhan John Brown. It took a deflection, but Jome will take it any way he can get it. So your final stats here, 4-1 your final score. And in terms of the shooting percentage for Spokane, 100% in the end. 4 shots on target, resulting in 4 goals. And an absurd amount, 15 total shots, whereas Texoma, given half the opportunities by that stellar defense for Spokane. 7 shots, 2 of them on target. Velocity FC winning the possession battle. But Texoma FC, they came out chippy, and it stayed that way throughout the match, picking up 3 yellow cards. Rajmir Spangler had to be careful. He didn't want to get his second yellow card in a match this year. He avoided that, but the rest of the team definitely letting the tempers show at the very end. But your final here, 4-1. So a lot of action here today. 5 goals from one Spokane stadium, and Velocity FC pick up their first league win at home this year. For Texoma FC, the losing streak continues, 5 straight. They hope to bounce back against Madison next week. In your final from one Spokane stadium, 4-1 Velocity FC taking the victory. A huge thank you to our entire production crew. And for myself, Josh Lill, have a great rest of your evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.